right, today we've got Adam with us, Dr. Adam, right? Dr. Adam Robbins.
Dr. Adam,
And
man.
yeah, we had linked up. He and has an offer where he helps PTs, like established PT owners, scale their practice, get more of their time back, and all that stuff. And we linked up, I think, in the DMs with from a connection, and decided to work together. He had about 10 clients at the time, and I helped him get kickstarted, really kind of productize his offer, make sure he had good systems, and have a good client acquisition system or strategy to get kickstarted. Now I reached back out. I was like, dude, how are things going? And things are going really well for him now. He said he's got around 50, 60 clients active. They're all high ticket clients, just hosted an in-person event. And I'm excited to have you on here because, dude, you're a really fun client, like to be able to support, and you've had success in other areas of business. So I felt like it was really easy for me to have conversations with you and tell you what to do, and kind of give you the steps, and you were able to implement really well. And I think there's a lot of things that you did as you got started that other people could learn from.
Mm.
And I also have a lot of people in my network who are PTs too. So what I want to do is just like, dude, highlight you. I want to hear more about like your story, what you did in the clinic before you started your business now. I want to hear kind of what your offer is now, and then yeah, how you're growing it. So dude, thank you for being here, man. Let's kick this thing off. Just tell people more about like what got you into PT.
Yeah, so being a PT, so yeah, I am a PT. For those who don't know, I'm a physical therapist. I was drawn to athletics, so I was halfway decent in athletics. I played football, basketball, baseball, and I ended up getting a really awesome scholarship to a community college, right? To
Oh
play a
yeah.
little football, second string, you know what I mean? But I was always just kind of fascinated by like human performance, anatomy, physiology, got into CrossFit, and like that was like super cool to me. So I was kind of naturally drawn to being a physical therapist, and just wanted to help people. Like I was like, man, this is awesome. Movement is awesome, man. I feel better. I'm getting stronger. And like, I just wanted to help other people do that. So that kind of got me into physical therapy. My dad is an entrepreneur. Like, he is a plumber. So he owns a plumbing company, and he owned a plumbing company the day I was born. So like, that's all I knew. Like, dad went to work to run the plumbing company, and blue collar dude. You know what I mean? Like, no manners. You know what I mean? Like, so we just knew how to work hard in our family. So like during the summers, I was riding around with him with the plumbing shirt on. I was helping him do the thing. So I kind of always had that entrepreneurial spirit, growing up. So I knew like in PT school, I wanted to own my own thing. I wanted to do something hard. I wanted to work hard and do something. So I started my physical therapy practice in 2019, grew that to 3 locations. We have about 50 employees, built a leadership team. I did a lot of that through working with coaches because I couldn't have did that by myself. I learned how to, build systems and market and build onboarding and build teams and build a leadership team and work on financials. Once I got to 3 clinics, I was like, you know what? That's good enough for right now. Let me kind of just let that settle. And then I reached out to my original business coach and I said, hey man, I want to help you do what you're doing. I want to like get with you. Like, what you did for me was like amazing. I want to help you. And so he was like, let's do it. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I need to figure out how to do it halfway right. And that's kind of how I found you, through talking to people in my network, and the rest is history.
Dude, I love that, man. Yeah, no, I'm curious, just like your experience, like with the owning the clinics. 'Cause I think but right now there's still a big craze, I think, for the cash-based PT model. But all of your clinics are insurance, right?
In network, man. Yep. Still
In
doing it the
network.
old fashioned way.
What's your take on the cash pay model as a whole? I'm curious, just because you have 3 clinics. I think a lot of cash pay owners, not to like rag on them, but they have like their table and across the gym, and it's just them, and it can be hard to scale that
Mm,
model versus like
mm.
your model. So I'm curious, just like your take. Like, if you were to do it again, would you do the same thing? What would that look like?
Well, I'm in South Mississippi in Louisiana, so it's a little bit like the income level is a little lower. It's a rural community. I'm not so sure that my area could support like a cash pay model, like pure 100% cash pay. I don't know if I could scale that. And I knew that for me, like I didn't want to be treating patients for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? Like I just knew it wasn't for me. So I needed to figure out a way to scale it. But I think that cash pay is awesome. I think that in certain areas of the country, like Nashville and New York, where the income's a little higher, maybe Dallas or,
Austin, like
but
Austin,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
precious too. Yeah, yeah.
You could totally do it. You could scale it. I do know many people, there's people in our program that are doing it. I think that what I see right now is there are people who are like, I will never take insurance. And there are people like me that are like, I can't do pure cash. But I think the market's going to naturally gravitate somewhere towards the middle, where you're
Yeah.
going to see this hybrid approach where in-network providers are going to start dropping low-paying insurances and demanding a little bit higher rates. Cash pay clinics are going to start recognizing that there are still some profitable insurance companies to work with. You're losing out on a lot of revenue if you just refuse them. So that's kind of what I think. I think they're both good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to do a lot more just from a marketing standpoint. You got to do a lot more of the cash-based clinic versus
Totally.
like
Totally.
the referral system. You can still get a referral system because when I first did PT, I was in a cash-based setting for about a year and a half, and I loved it. But we also, man, we had a whole day. We would shut the clinic down just for content because we needed it so bad, and that was like, on the
Totally.
weekends, what were we doing? We were going to Orange Theory, CrossFit, F45, and doing workshops and stuff like that. And
Uh-huh.
like that was kind of part of the 40 hours a week wasn't all just treating people. It was all marketing. It was marketing. It was sales. It was like relationship building, which was fun, because it wasn't just like in the clinic all day, but at the same time, like it definitely, I wasn't the owner of it, but you could see there was more stress on the owner of being like, we need new evals. I'm sure you probably still feel the same for insurance, but I think I imagine from the outside looking in, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah, so for insurance clinics, that I don't really worry about new patients too much. They're there, you stick a sign up in the air and to say that we're a network, like you're going to get a few patients. It's more of like an administrative, and it's like, how do I get profitable? Like it's more of a, like
Yeah.
you're a systems guy. It's really about like,
Yeah.
it's a ball of yarn, and like you got to like figure out how to spit out a profit at the end of the month. That's really the game, like efficiency. So you don't spend like your marketing budget's like super low, but for a cash pay
Right.
clinic, and that's been the biggest challenge for me going online because I don't really know. I
Mm.
still don't know how to market really. I'm a sales guy. I could sell okay, and I know how to like do outbound and cold calling and a lot of sales heavy work. I'm not very good. Like I'm not as good as you at like the messaging and the branding and the content. I don't know that world very well. I haven't gotten new clients that way. So yeah, it's been a lot of like
Totally.
outbound. It's been a lot of like organic, like affiliates. We do run some ads, but if you uncovered the ad, like you would laugh at them if you saw
I
them. Like,
probably would. I
you
mean,
know what I mean? Like you would rip them apart. You know, it's not
yeah.
like it's not our main thing. Like our thing is like I'm an Alex Harmozy guy, so it's like get on the phone, pick up the phone, make the call, send the email, a lot of volume work, and that's how we get the word out.
Yeah, let's talk more about your offer, right? You grew 3 clients, and then you had a mentor who really helped you. You partnered with him. How do you guys help people now? Like who's the ideal avatar, and what do you guys do for them?
So the ideal avatar is it's this clinician who's this world. I work with healthcare practice owners, private practice owners, just like me. So it's really basically me. The guy I was whenever I hired my first business coach, I was a guy that was working 80 hours a week. I was really good at getting my patients bought into our plan of care and treating them well and getting them results, but I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know how to build anything outside of me, right? So like the business didn't work unless I was there making it work. So I ended up being consumed by the business. So we call it the overwhelmed operator. It's the clinician who's built a really busy schedule. They can't leave work because the entire business depends on them being there. That's who we work with primarily. And what we do for them is we help them build financial clarity. Number one, we help them start measuring statistics inside their business, build some systems that are not dependent upon them, right? And then helping them elevate their leadership skills so they can start recruiting clinicians on their team and driving performance. That's what we do.
Got it. So it sounds like, yeah, if you're overwhelmed operator, you don't have any systems. So what does that look like, when someone comes in? Like, what systems do people have in place before they start with you guys? And then, like, what are some key ones that you guys help them set up with that, like, moves the needle and frees up their time the most?
We don't free up their time the most. The biggest
Mm.
pain point is they just don't know where their money's at, right? When you're working with in-network providers, they come in and they're like building these codes that go off into this cloud or whatever. And it's like, maybe you get paid by Medicare, maybe you don't. So like they don't really have a pulse on how much money's out there, how much money's coming in, where their money is. They don't
Mm.
have control over their money lines. Their financial plan is work as hard as I can and see what's left over at the end of the month. That's their financial plan. And so that's a scary place to be, especially if you have 3 or 4 clinicians on your team and you've got a front desk, you've got people you're taking care of, and you can't make decisions in the business because you're kind of handcuffed because you're in the dark. So a lot of them have a little bit of money saved, but there's a lot of fear around making decisions or moving in any direction because they lack financial clarity. So that's the first thing we have to do. Have to help them build some systems around their finances. And so we teach what's called our profit accelerator system, which walks them through the financial touch points inside of a practice, which is over the counter collections, billing and coding, how you code your services, your billing and collections team, and then leveraging your accountant and setting up budgets inside your practice. And when we can like get their dashboard set up and help them understand how money moves from visit one to money hitting the bank account, and they see that, it's like, oh, I can invest here. I can step out of treatment a little bit because there's clarity around their numbers. So that's the first thing that we do.
Yeah, dude, that makes so much sense. Before PT school, I worked as an aide, and I remember there's at least like one time per year. It seemed like it was one time per year, at least when I was there. And there was just this collection. Like, dude, there was just like they had a list of people they were just calling, like trying to get money for before sending out to
Terrible.
collections. And I was like, how did you guys let this thing get to this that where there are stacks of people
Totally.
and they're like thousands of dollars per thing. And I'm like, how are you guys operating? You know what I mean? Like this is just sitting here. And some of the clinicians would just take forever to do their notes in the first place. And from my understanding, it's hard to get paid when you don't submit your notes. And I was like, this is a cluster, you know, but they're
No
working hard because they
problem.
feel like they have to keep doing it because they have to. But then they build this huge entire list of late stuff. And it's like, man, that seems like it's very stressful life to live.
Super stressful. And you hit the nail on the head. It's like they work so hard because number one, they're inefficient, right? Their revenue per visit is like, they're leaving a lot of money on the table through poor collections. Money's kind of leaking through the system. Even more so, they don't know where their next dollar's coming in. They don't know. They're just like, keep working, right?
Yeah.
The default is just keep working harder. You can see how like they build a trap for themselves. So it's hard to
Yeah.
escape that without clarity around your numbers.
Yeah, that company got acquired by ATI while I was there, and all the systems and processes flipped like this. And I was like, oh, I get it. Now looking back, I was like, why do I have to do this task? Like enter it in here. I just entered it over there. But now I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
business. So like,
Yeah,
there's organization, there's
totally.
systems. And even though it feels repetitive to me, the whole business is gonna function a lot better when I enter this in X number of places because it's now tracked versus like, dude, everything was on paper. Everything was on paper. It was wild just to see that the difference between good systems and like mom and pop shop. It was night and day, you know. And again, it felt way more work for me being in like the front desk slash aid spot, but like the whole business, I'm sure now is a much more profitable position because of the changes they made.
For sure. And that's literally what we do, right? Like if you can get clear on your budgets, you just get a little bit of bandwidth and you can start working on the business and build those systems. You can grow it. It's very hard to do, especially in network, but you can definitely win in private practice. But you've got to be very good at business, right? Especially more
Yeah.
recently, reimbursement rates are continuing to decline every year. Healthcare is a mess. And we used to get away with sloppy operations, and now you can't. You've got to be very good. You've got to be good at it. So if you're a practice owner and you're not doing very well, you better figure it out because it's getting harder and harder to stay open or go cash. You got to figure something out.
So if you guys are in that network, hit him up. He's got some good stuff. He's a smart dude, tell you that. I don't, dude. I'd love to hear more about just like your experience with coaching, right? So like, love the offer. I love kind of what you guys do. It speaks to me a lot because again, I witnessed it firsthand of how important that stuff is and how easy it is to overlook. Walk us through your offer, right? So like, you're helping these people build systems, have better financial modeling, extremely important. What does the container look like to work with you guys? So again, it's been a while since we've worked together, so I'm curious where the time duration's at, if you've got an offer suite, what's that look like now? Yeah.
So we've probably like most of us we've kind of like gone all over the place with our offer. Like we tried low ticket, high ticket, we tried everything. Right now, what we're landing on is it's called our CEO Accelerator program. It's a 12-month program, and it's really built for practice owners who are that avatar that we described. It's a 12-month program, and what it looks like is number one, we give you our systems, right? We give you the playbook, but it's built around private practices, and it kind of walks you through the profit accelerator system, how to build a team, how to build your systems. So that's number one. Number two is our community. So we do our group coaching. We do 8 group calls a month, and they're all built around different areas of your business: front desk, recruiting, leadership, marketing, sales. And then we do one-on-one coaching. You get a one-on-one coach. That's really important, in my opinion, to have that one-on-one coach. What we do during that call is we run through your numbers and help you make data-driven decisions every month, which is key. So we're trying to get people off of the emotional roller coaster of their business and start making objective decisions. So reporting your numbers and making data-driven decisions is key. And then the second thing we do is we build out a 30-day strategic plan. So we uncover your top 3 priorities. We uncover what the unique barriers are to achieving success with those. And then we create a plan to overcome the barriers to achieve success. And so every month, you've got an up-to-date scorecard, you're making data-driven decisions, you know the 3 key constraints, and you've got a 30-day plan to overcome the barriers to achieving success. Then you've got your community and your training to support you along the way. And so our goal is to help you win financially, right? We want to help you win financially, and we also want to help you get your time and energy back so you're not trapped by the business.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, man. So 12 months. I'm curious. I think when we first worked together, I was curious on this too. We have a 12-month offer as well. Did you have any hesitation selling a 12-month offer? I mean, I know for this demographic, they need 12 months to really see change. I'm curious if you like how that was for you selling when you started and like how it is now.
Yeah. So we started with some low ticket month to month offers. It was like cancel anytime. We don't care. Just like let us get some reps in, right? Like,
Yeah.
and what we ended up doing is bringing on clients who were like kind of half committed, and it wasn't a good deal. The thing about growing a business, especially in private practice, is it's hard. Implementing change is hard, and it's going to be stressful. It's going to be challenging, and you're going to feel like you want to quit. And it gets
Hmm.
hard right around that 3 to 6 month mark, right? And so we
Hmm.
tried the 6 month thing, but what would happen is like we would create momentum, and then they would start to come up, and it would get hard, and they'd be like, I'm bailing because I'm scared. And we
Yeah.
were like,
Hmm.
and then they were leaving thinking they spent 6 months with us and nothing
Yeah.
nothing happened, right? Like
Yeah.
building a practice isn't like, it takes time to build a practice. There's a lot of people involved. Money is slow, right? We decided like, you know what? We only want to work with people who are willing to commit for a year. We don't want to be chasing people who are half committed. And so far it's been good. So
Nice,
we do
man.
a year long program. And then after a year, it goes month to month.
I like that, man. I mean, offline, we were talking about what we're both doing, and we're moving in that direction for next year, kind of as well. So it's like we'll still have like a setup offer where it's like, well, we set up your ad account and do all this stuff. That's like a 90-day thing because it's a one-time thing, right? But I found too with like the business coaching consulting is that like people who are in for 3 months, they expect like the world to change in three
Right.
months. And then you're just like, bro, I can, we can put the systems in play and push go, but like, dude, do we need to work together for a longer period of time before we see any substantial change? And same thing at 6 months, it's hit or miss. Like sometimes at 6 months, it's going really well and it's easy renewal. But then the other time, it's like, man, yeah, like the first 3 months, they saw, oh, we launched the thing, it's doing really well, and then all of a sudden, oh, our results are starting to plateau a little bit, and then it doesn't fit. So we're also going in the same direction of like we want more long-term clients for our offer too, because it's a lot less urgency across the board for everybody. Like if it's a 90-day program or a 6-month program, there's urgency of like this has to get done by this time. I love that you guys have been doing that. I'm curious, is the sales cycle any longer because you're selling for a year for you guys? Yeah. Yeah, like more trust.
Yeah. Yeah. And PTs are cheap, man.
Yes, we are.
PTs
They are. I'm not gonna say we are. Yes, we are. I'm like, I feel so far removed. I'm like, I don't know if I can call myself. I am a PT, but
PTs are cheap, man. Like you can't get them to spend 50 extra bucks a month. So yeah, sales cycle's a little longer. Yeah, totally. There's a lot of trust that needs to be built. A lot of people that we bring on have been listening to the podcast for 2 years.
yeah. Well, do walk me through that. I want to hear the play because, like you mentioned earlier, and I also want to like commend you on like you have grown your business using the skill set you have. Like for you, it sounds like a big part of it is networking, relationship building, all that stuff. Where like for me, I like creating content. I like running ads. I like
Yeah.
doing YouTube.
And
But it's
that
like
stuff's exhausting to me.
we're different. And to all those listening, you've got to find what works for you. Like if I was like,
Totally.
"Hey, Adam, you've got to make this amount of videos per week, this amount of ads
Oh
per week,"
God.
you would hate me, bro. You'd be like, "I'm not doing this." So, what does it look like for someone to be on your radar? Like, get on your radar, and what do they need to
Mm.
do to where they're like, "Oh man, Adam, you're the man for me."
Yeah. So, like I said, marketing for me is not really, we don't, it's bad business principles. Like, we don't track a lot of data like we should or make a lot of data driven decisions around the marketing. We're trying to get better at that. But I can tell you, most of our leads are generated through Facebook ads. So, we run a couple $1,000s a month in Facebook ads. We generate, maybe 40 leads a week, something like that. And that's kind of usually the first way people get introduced to us. They get our manual, they get our free stuff. We got a bunch of free stuff. So I'm always kind of making free things and throwing them on the website. And people usually will if they download one thing, they'll go and download the other thing, and they'll go and download
Yeah.
the other thing, right? Now they got all the things. So I'm in their email inbox, I'm texting them, and then my dialer is picking up the phone, calling them at least every 90 days, and we're checking in with them. But that's kind of how that works. Aside from that, we put them into, they usually get nurtured by our podcast. So our podcast is like the thing that most people rave about,
Mm.
or our Facebook group. So we do a lot of our promotion inside of our Facebook group, and we run 4 in-person events a year, 2 workshops. We're going to San Antonio. How close are you to San Antonio?
I don't know, man. I'm close to my San Antonio.
Far enough. We're going to San Antonio in
Probably a couple
January
hours.
or
Yeah.
next year. So we'll pick destinations, and it's like, hey, we're coming to San Antonio, and so we'll run some ads to the area. We'll kind
Oh,
of invite
cool.
practice owners
Dude,
to
that's
the
smart,
area.
man.
We'll do like two days workshop, and we'll usually get a client or 2 out of that. So we do 4 of those a year, and then we do 2 or 3 webinars, like virtual webinars a year, and that's it. And we just show up.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's the longer term play. What I heard from it too, and even the ads you guys run are more relationship building. Hey, download my guy, join my, and then when they join, they probably get emails to join the Facebook group and stuff like that versus the more direct ads of like, here's how I can help you, like book a call.
We've never had
I
success with that.
yeah,
And maybe it's because I'm not good at marketing, and that could be the case, but like I haven't figured out how to get people to buy today. Like I just haven't figured that out yet.
yeah. I mean, we have some ads that are like that. I personally like the longer term play like you have. The ads are cheaper. If you do a good job of making a good podcast and making a good community over time, you'll get more referrals from that versus the direct ads.
Totally. It's a longer
But
play. I have to
yeah, it's a
remind my
longer
partner
play.
of that sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Like, hey, all this money is going out. But it's like, yeah, but we are making more money right now than we did before we ran them. And
That's
so it's
right.
like sometimes like, but if you look at the individual ads, you're like, are these doing anything? You know?
Well, the leads we're getting it's like $2 a lead. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
opting in for $2. It's like just let it run. You know what I mean? Like you can't get
yeah.
leads any cheaper than that.
Yeah, and if you do the direct style, like we have some, but the offer itself has to be it's shorter, right? Like I'm not selling a 12-month offer on those shorter ads. It's like, hey, here's what
Mhm.
we're gonna help you do, and typically it's a shorter time duration. Yeah, even those ads, I review those sales calls, and you can tell they're like half in, half out. Like I just clicked an ad yesterday, and
Right.
we're like, how bad do you want this? And
Yeah.
they're like, I don't know, who are you? So it's just a different play, man. But I love that model. Are you guys still seeing pretty good results with the Facebook group? I'm curious, just like because I know a lot of us have moved to school. Are you guys still seeing a lot of engagement over there?
I mean, it's not like we're not getting rich doing it. The best way we get in touch with our people is, like I mentioned, through our ads. Like we run ads,
Yeah.
we pick up the phone, we dial. That's the best way for us to start having conversations with
Mhm.
people who are interested. We do the outreach, we do the DMing, and we do that stuff too. And we book calls, but it's not like if we only did that, we'd have a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We kind
Yeah.
of have to run ads if we're going to get clients.
Got it. So it sounds like the Facebook group's a hit or miss. Like it's part of the value journey. It kind of shows they take action. But
And
from my way,
affiliates.
it sounds like, yeah, so the podcast is the main nurture system. So it's like
Yeah.
affiliates, word of mouth, local in-person stuff, driving to the podcast when you guys are not like doing workshops and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah. If I had somebody like you on my team, I could probably run some data on all that and figure out what's actually working, which maybe that's what we'll do next year. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably the next step is to get a little bit more strategic with it.
Yeah. Like the more I'm spending time in like looking at all the metrics, the more I realize that a lot of it is like it's so hard to find what is the one channel or the one thing that's doing the biggest lift. I'm sure there's AI platforms that can like help say like tell you that, but I'm just seeing so much more of it being kind of like an ecosystem effect of like, the ads are over here, the Facebook group is over here. All those are just impressions. And how do you measure the effectiveness of one impression? Even AI or whatever systems can just tell you how many impressions you got of each thing and
Yeah,
then make an idea. Oh, because you got 10 more impressions on the podcast, that's more important than the 2 impressions they had in the Facebook group. What if that Facebook group was the thing that they saw that got them to the podcast in the first place? So it's like,
totally.
it's so tough. Like I love being systems and data driven. And then I feel like the longer I've been in business, the more I've realized that marketing itself is a way harder thing to put into a system. But like sales, input, how many dials,
Yeah, yeah,
how many
yeah.
calls, closes, like even fulfillment can be a little bit more systematized, but man, marketing is complex and it's coming from me who teaches people how to market,
Yeah, you're
So I
good
feel
at
like
it too.
yeah, it's tough. It's like, so I feel you on that, man, but I love
My
that you
thing
guys
is
have the podcast.
my thing is like, don't take this advice from me. Take Matt's advice. But like my strategy has been like, do as much as you can consistently and pitch every day. Have a list. Like you're the owner of the company. You should be trying to drive people into it, whether you're pitching to an affiliate, whether you're pitching to a client, pitch something to someone. You know what I mean? And like if you do that every day, you're gonna get a sale every now and then. You know what I mean? Like just do that. Like that's really it.
Yeah.
Like if you're the CEO of the company and you're not pitching your company, you're spending your time on the wrong shit. Like if you're spending, you know what I mean? Like if you're running around doing a bunch of busy work and you're like, I got to run all these metrics, and it's like you need to get out there and sell something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
and like you'll make a lot more money if you just try to ask people for it. So I've spent a lot of seasons of business ownership working on things that felt like I was supposed to work on it, to like organize things. And like I filled my day up with stuff and I was like, man, I haven't made like I spend
And
a
you're
lot of
still there.
energy,
I'm
but
not,
like I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
even making any sense. Does that make sense? You follow me?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
think you
no, I
should
agree
spend
though.
at least, 1 to 2 hours a day, like creating awareness and driving people to your organization. You got to hold on. Like, if you do that every day, you're going to grow a business.
Yeah, and that's honestly, as you're saying that, I'm like, man, I do spend a lot of my time organizing stuff, but
But
that's
you're
because I
but you've
have
got a sales
ads,
team. You've got a freaking
and
sales
yes,
team. And
I
you're a
do have a sales
marketing
team,
guy.
and I'm
Which
marketing guy. So I'm like, I can record 10 videos once a month, have those out in the ether, But I'm like, man, am I pitching every day? I'm like, well, yeah, actually, I spend, $1,000 a day on things that are pitching every single day, and like they are pitching every day, but like I don't see it. I'm like, no, today I've been working on my content curriculum for 4 hours. I haven't pitched at all, but I'm like, what I am, I've set up systems, that are pitching on my
dude,
behalf.
totally.
You know what I mean? You're right.
Yeah, and that goes back to like what you're good at and what I'm good at. Like I couldn't do that. I
Yeah.
could, but like I'd rather you do it for me. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy the chase. I enjoy the outbound. I enjoy the,
Yeah.
hey man, let's get on a call and let's talk about how we can support each
Let's
other.
talk.
I like that stuff.
Yeah, I like seeing going into my ads manager and seeing calls booked and like all the numbers. What's the click through rate? But again,
That's
it's just like
awesome.
yeah,
That's
you
awesome.
gotta know what your skill set is, and like either you find somebody that complements it really well, or you just like build a business around that one skill set that you love and just go all in on it.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And I tell my clients that same thing where it's like find a guy who's doing it well, copy his stuff, and then once you kind of learn his stuff, figure out what you're good at and just like modify it to what you're good at. And that's kind of what I did with you. Like
Yeah.
I watched all your stuff on 2 times X, like 5 times, and I tried my best to follow your stuff to the T. And some of the stuff I kind of got good at and some of the stuff I wasn't very good at, so I outsourced it and you kind of find your lane, and you just double down on it.
Dude, I love it, man. All right, well, we're coming up on time here, man. Yeah, where can people, connect with you if they want to learn more about what you do, or if they're just like curious on your strategy and stuff like that? Where can they find you?
You can check out our website. It's ppoclub.com. So ppoclub.com. You can always email me, Adam at ppoclub.com. You can find me on Facebook. I'm always happy to talk business, whether that's growing a practice or whether that's doing anything online. Yeah, always happy to collaborate.
Cool, man. Well, last piece of thing, what would you give yourself advice wise if you were, talking to yourself when you're getting back into the online game? I'm curious.
Mm.
We gave a lot of tips here, but like, do you have one thing you tell yourself as you're getting into the online space? What would it be?
It would be, it's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of work. And if you can try to wing it if you want, but it's not going to work. You better get some help.
Before we start this podcast, you're like, man, I'm used to being in the clinic and working 5 hours a week. I'm working a lot more than five
Yeah,
hours
I'm
a week
working a
now.
lot more now, but I'm getting better. I'm almost out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think what people realize as we close out is like I mean, when I started, the ads that got me into, oh, I wanted to start an online business was like, the people at the beach, like, hey, I'm working from my laptop. And
Yeah,
then once
yeah,
you get in it and you're like, all right, yeah, I mean, I can do that and make 10K a month, but then that's not going to cover my lifestyle because that's just 10K a month in revenue. Sure, I can work whatever, but if I'm trying to get to 100K a month so I can really pay for my lifestyle and have a team and have that freedom that I want minimum, it's going to require a lot of work.
a lot of
And
work,
then you,
man.
you start to like get, for us, it was like once I got to like 150 to 200K is when I started it. All right, I got a team who does this, a team that does this. And like above that is too, you can start to be like, all right, now I can have a leadership team. But like you really don't need it that big of a leadership team and you're kind of doing all the stuff until you're at least 100 to 150K,
Yeah, yeah.
minimum per month. And I don't people think that. They're like, oh, 10K, I've made it or 20K, I've made it. I'm like, bro, you're grinding, bro. You're taking
Dude,
sales calls, you're doing
we're
all this stuff. Like,
we're at 80K and I'm still grinding.
yeah.
I still got work to do. So I get you.
Yeah, dude, you're on the right trajectory though. Like, I'm excited. We should do a call in a year from now and then see where we're at. But I
For
feel like
sure.
you'll be in a way better spot because you're a systems guy.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. All right, dude. Well, dude, thank you so much for being here, man. I will close this thing out, man. Adam, it's been fun, and yeah, man, I appreciate you as I think it's just a good role model for how you balance things, and
Thanks,
I love
man.
what you've been building, and I love the energy you have behind it. So keep doing you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.